Hey guys, Jay here from the Blaenau Gwent Film Academy, coming at you with some of my spooky acting tips. Today we're continuing with our Halloween-themed acting videos and talking about one of the most famous movie monsters of all time, the vampire. So, what is a vampire? Well, they have long, thin, spiky teeth, and they're often very suave and classy, and they can turn into a flock of bats at any time. They often live in castles, and they often have like lots of jewels, and they're very sort of rich and quite creepy. And they do like to drink blood. Bit gross. Ugh. Okay? But we're going to try and sort of find our vampire using our acting skills. Okay? So, what are vampires? How do they act? Well, at the end of the day, they are sort of like people, even though they're monsters. They still look like people, just a bit weirder. Okay, so instead of a werewolf, it requires us to turn our entire body into this animal. A vampire, we could be a bit more human, okay? But I often think as vampires as very sort of classy and very sort of, suave, which sort of means just really classy and charming, okay? So if we think about this suave vampire, they'd be very expressive with their hands. When they're talking, they would do a lot of this. Hello, I'm a vampire. Ah, yes. Have you got any goblets of blood for me? Okay. They're very sort of like that, and they're very charming. And you go, oh yeah, this is a pretty nice guy. And that's when he turns into a flock of bats, and you're like, ah! Okay. So think about this. He's very, very, very charming sort of vampire. Yes, I'm a vampire. But you need to remember, they are monsters, so they have very spiky teeth. So that's when they go. They're very suave and nice, and then suddenly, okay, the hiss is a trademark of the vampire character, okay, where you go from sort of like suspicious to, okay, and even if you don't have the spiky vampire teeth, vampire fangs, there you go, just show all your teeth and do that sort of hiss. That's a great thing to do as a vampire character. Now, they also have claws, like I was doing them, but they don't look like the big scary werewolf claws. They're more like clawed nails, like, okay? Because they're very scary because they look like people, but then they become these batty, white out creatures, all right? So they're less energetic than werewolves, and they're very slow. Perhaps they drift around, so you don't see them. Don't see their footsteps. You never see a vampire going, I'm a vampire. They often glide along, okay? Now, they often live in Transylvania, but don't try that accent because no one's any good at it, all right? But you must remember to be very sort of spooky when talking as a vampire. It's like you know that you're a vampire, but they don't know. And then suddenly, okay? And unfortunately, we can't turn you into a flock of bats because that would cost a lot of money and we don't have it. But there's a great way of improving your vampire performance using a very handy trick. Okay? These are very easy. So I picked up. Couldn't understand me then, could you? I picked up these very cheap vampire fangs, which you could probably get in lots of places, and they are great. For showing the teeth. But you can't understand what you're going to say. So, if you're acting as a vampire character and you have some teeth, remember to put them in. And then take them out before talking, okay? Hello, I'm a vampire. Would you like to come into my lair? And then carry on talking, okay? This is a very skilled creature to act as, but a really great, fun one if you're really up for it. Now, what other costume bits can we wear as a vampire? A cloak is a great one, okay? A big black cloak with a very velvet and nice and silk. But unfortunately, we don't have one of them today. But I do have a very suave and classy velvet blazer, okay? Maybe it's a bit more of a modern vampire. And then maybe we have sort of like a classy scarf instead of a jewel around his neck. Maybe this could be a vampire character, and then put the teeth in. Any good? That's all I got. But this is a great character to put in any spooky setting. if you're in an old ruined house or an abandoned supermarket, anything like that is a great place to bring out this vampire character and be very spooky and suddenly, okay? So try your vampire character at home, let me know how you get along, and see if you can come up with any other vampire traits, okay? So stay acting, stay active, and have lots of spooky fun.